What if there was a tool or a way to get Clickfunnels type of functionality directly into your WordPress website and to be able to test it out and make money with it before ever spending a dollar? In this video, I'm going to talk about WooFunnels, which is a company coming out that's trying to fill in that gap. Let's see if they succeed. Hey guys, John here from Unbeatable Tech, and in this video we're going to walk through all of WooFunnels, show you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and build it out on a website to build out our own funnel that looks kind of like this, and I'll show you how this all works step by step. All right, so what is WooFunnels? Well, it is something that helps you start building profitable funnels, something I'm very passionate about, right? So they do a really good job of bringing that Clickfunnels type of experience, for good and for bad, right? Like there's a lot of things I'm not a big fan of when it comes to Clickfunnels, but they do a great job with some things like templates. And I really enjoy the templates I see inside of WooFunnels. If you're coming from Clickfunnels and you're trying to save a buck, you'll feel right at home here with the templates that are inside of WooFunnels. All right, conversion optimized checkouts. From what I've seen, and I've gone through a few different websites with this tool, they do a really good job of allowing your checkout to look kind of ClickFunnels-y, really high conversion, doing all the right things there without making it feel like WooCommerce through and through. Bump offers, upsells. Their follow-up engine is something I'm really excited for, but there's a negative on that, and we'll get to that here in just a page or two. And then analytics, all that good stuff. The ability to do A/B testing. It's really well built out. Like it's a solid platform. It's been around for a while. Funnel builder, checkout pages, one-click upsells, and automations. Let's take a look at the automations right quick. This is their newest, component or module of their solution, which is called Autonomy, and it is essentially a Fluent CRM competitor. It's an email marketing platform, but it plugs directly in to your funnel builder. The most powerful way that we've seen because it's the exact same company. I will say this is still being built out. It's not the most full-featured deal out there, but it does have a free plan to get started if you wanted to test it out, and we'll do that here in this video, so just stay tuned. And they do integrate in with a good old-fashioned Zapier, as well as a few others, but I would like to see more integrations come in along the way. All right, so let's check this out. Let's check out that pricing here, okay? Because they're talking about the standard pricing structure, which is true, right? Like in order to get this all going, you either need to spend a bunch of money on a tool like ThriveCart and then you're good, but then you still need to add in all the other components, or you would go down the WooCommerce route and just get kind of nickeled and dimed to death with different add-ons and plugins and functionality along the way. All right, you get the drill, right? So let's take a look at their pricing page here. And let's see what they're offering us here. All right, so it shows you can get started for under $200 per year. And now, while that may sound expensive, if you were to maybe compare it to, I think Cartflows has a pricing point even cheaper than that. Remember, this is including a bit of autoresponder as well, and that can in and of itself be upwards of $30, $60, $100 per month, depending on your email list size as well. So what you get here, unlimited funnels, checkout pages, upsells and downsells, all the funnel goodness there. Lead capture forms, I like how they do this. We'll see that in this video. Some reporting, deep analytics, all the goodies, right? So to the next tier, from $179 to $250, you just get the exact same stuff, but up to 25 sites. This is a single site license. If you have a big agency, just be prepared. You'll be over here on the scale plan pretty quickly. And this is what I don't like. I'm going to give a knock on WooFunnels right here because they hold back some of their best stuff for their most expensive plan, where the Autonomy CRM, the Customer Relationship Manager, you need to have that biggest plan to get it, and integration with external tools, Twilio, automated follow-up emails. Some of these things I would expect to be available on any plan. Honestly, I would like to just see them, what they have here on the starter plan, include everything and simply scale up the number of websites as you're going. Okay, so not a big fan. They do have a 14-day money-back guarantee for you to take a look at. And then as we scroll on down here, you'll see kind of the problem. We stop here at the automations. We don't get any automations until you scale up. But the problem with scaling up is, what if you don't have 25 websites, you just want to have the functionality? Not a huge fan there, but you can see HTTP webhooks is included, which is pretty excited if you want to integrate this with anything out there under the sun. All right, enough talking. Let's build this sucker out. So I'm going to come here to a blank web page and let's show you these tools. I will first show you what we can do in the free tools, and then we'll also license up and get the pro functionality and take a look at everything we can find. All right, so I'm going to search for WooFunnels. This is just a blank little website that has WooCommerce installed. And now I can see not a lot of installations. If you were to, just let me go ahead and install this. So this is the free version of WooFunnels and the free version of Autonomy. Let's put both of these on, and then we'll also just take a look here. If we go to Cartflows, which is the clearest competitor to WooFunnels, 200,000 active installations. All right, so this is a little bit of a David and Goliath situation here. Clearly, Autonomy and WooFunnels has their work cut out for them. And I think part of that is honestly just popularity and media presence, right? We all know Cartflows has incredible marketing engine behind them. Adam, he is a beast. He puts out a ton of content. He's super valuable. I appreciate him a lot. And also the creators of Cartflows is Astra, who has a ton of users as well. So there's a lot of good things going for Cartflows from an adoption standpoint. So let's see how the product itself, WooFunnels and Autonomy, let's see how the product itself performs. We'll go ahead and activate these plugins. All right, and it's going to send us to our dashboard that we'll get quite familiar with. So it does automatically ask you to upgrade to Pro. We get it, but we're going to go ahead and see what we can do on the free version before we go and upgrade. All right, so contacts, this is how you can, on the Autonomy side, adding people in there. So carts recovered, recent abandoned carts, because one of their big features is being an e-commerce focused automated email system. Abandoning carts is a big deal. And then how have your recent campaigns, broadcasts performed recently? All right, that's on the Autonomy side. And then on the WooFunnels side, let's find this as well. Did it get activated? Let's activate you too. All right, let's go ahead and start our quick wizard. All right, you're on a roll. So do you want to help them improve their user experience? This is not a real website, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then I will skip subscribing for now. That's a very basic dashboard. I like that. All right, so build your first funnel. Let's add a funnel in here. And let's first just add a simple opt-in funnel. And we'll take a look at some of their templates. All right, so here we go. We can preview any of these templates. Let's just take a look to see what we get here. And off to the side here, you can see all the pages that are included. So this isn't just a one-off page. They are full-blown funnels with each page you might expect included. And I'll admit, it's a good-looking funnel. I like it. It's looking good. Looks rather Clickfunnels-y, more so than you might see on like an Elementor template library. We can see the checkout page here. And this is a good-looking checkout form as well. I like it. It's not too big, not too spaced out apart. You have different options. Their upsell page, which happens with one click, and a thank you page with really nice style here. All right, I want to have an opt-in funnel though. I just want to collect a lead right now. Let's see how that works first. And one thing I like about them, oh look at that, even are opt-in funnels pro only? Okay, no. Looks like you have a badge here for pro and some that are free. So let's go ahead and grab a free one, import it. And it says we need Elementor. So let's go ahead and activate Elementor and add this in. I do wish they had, oh, look at that. There's a drop down here. They do have templates for Divi and Oxygen, but not really my choices. So we're going to go ahead and add Elementor into our website, and let's go ahead and take a look. So if we view this, okay, here's our first funnel page, I should say. Looks quite nice. Goodness gracious. Nothing wrong with that. Let's come back here, and let's take a look at some of these settings here of this funnel. We'll edit it. Alrighty. What I wanted to be able to show you was how they implement the two-step opt-in pages. These are called like click pops, or they click a button and then the opt-in form pops up. It generally shows, again, everyone's audience is a little bit different, but from most of my testing, I have found that having them push a button before they get the form actually increases conversion, because it makes them add in that small micro commitment of saying yes before they even realize you want their email address. So I can't do that here yet. We're going to go ahead and check that out in the Pro version, but let's see what the options are here. We got our design tab, which kind of just shows you how to get into the designer. You can adjust the fields you're asking for. Maybe you don't want to ask for the first name. It's as easy as saying no to that, but maybe you want to ask for a phone number, which is a Pro version. I can definitely see we're going to need to upgrade to really put this thing through its paces. If we come over here to customize, that's kind of nice. All the customization options are built in directly to the Elementor widget, so that's going to save us some time. And then the actions here, if you want to get an email notification, you can send your lead a notification, and that's kind of cool. So instead of having to go into a whole separate system and build out the automation, you can have essentially the thank you email added directly here on the opt-in page. That's a nice little feature. I'm a big fan. I will say this is going to be more limited than if you were to maybe want to have a follow-up where you check a day later, hey, did they open my email? Did they even receive my email? If not, send them another follow-up. You're not going to have all that functionality, but it does build in all the short codes, and at least if you just want to get something out there quickly, this is super quick, super easy. Autonomy, get Pro to enable C. So really, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot with this unless you get a Pro version, because essentially all you can do right now is add them. You can't even add them to a list, it looks like, on the free version. Actions. I mean, you can collect the leads, but where you send them to? You can't connect to any CRMs yet. I mean, I get it. Like they want you to upgrade, but that's not as generous as they could be. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that you're going to want the Pro version if you want to really put this thing through its paces. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my account and activate the WooFunnels and Autonomy and add in some of the bonuses. I'll come back in 1 second. So it looks like WooFunnels has gone the compartmentalized route, where to get their full functionality, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different plugins that will be added to your website. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can be a little bit confusing and anxiety-inducing to people that are not familiar with having a bunch of plugins on your website. But these all kind of add separate functionalities to it. So the connectors will let you connect your email marketing platform to all the different tools out there under the sun. This is actually Autonomy's base plugin and the Pro version. A/B testing. So this is rather interesting to me that they separated out their optimization, their conversion rate optimization portion of their plugin, and made that a separate tool altogether. But hey, okay. And then here's the base of WooFunnels and the Pro version of WooFunnels. Okay. So when you sign up, if you go for that scale route, you'd get access to all these plugins. Now let's go ahead and install them. So I'm going to come over here to add more plugins, and let's just drag them on up and put them on in. Okay, so I've installed each of the plugins, but they do have that warning sign of updating your license key. So not to worry, you can just click on those buttons. And what's kind of funny about this is they give you a bunch of different license keys. So make sure you line up the right key for the right tool and go ahead and plug them in. I'll come back in 1 second. Okay, so now everything is updated, and that is fantastic. So now if we come back to our dashboard, let's go ahead and resume what we were working on here, going back to our funnels, and now we can see what things are going to start to look like here. We'll have access to all the funnels that we're working on. We can go into them, and eventually we'll be able to see the analytics and all kinds of fun things. Let's just continue on what we were doing. Okay, so I've got this here. Now let's go ahead and look at the design for just a little bit. This will open up inside of our favorite Elementor. Okay, and now we've pulled up our opt-in button here, which is great. I also want to show you something I'm really impressed with. Not that it's that big of a deal, but it's kind of nice, is that instead of forcing you to have to use maybe the Elementor pop-up builder and then do all this additional work, you can simply drag in an opt-in pop-up if you like that route more. And that styling is not my favorite. So let's go ahead and make that button maybe this accent color. Let's make it a little bit wider. And we should be able to just make it a... You have to do a little bit of styling here, don't you? So we'll kind of not force you to watch all this, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Maybe put 20 pixels of padding so it looks like a bigger button. And then let's also give it 5 pixels of border radius. Okay, it looks a little bit better. I'm a little bit happier. And when you click on it, it'll actually pop up your form where you can come in here, come into your content, and adjust what the heading says. Instead of one step away, because that's very ClickFunnels-y, we'll say almost there. Where can I send your goodie? All right, let's take a look at that. All right, and it replaces that right there for you. And you can decide what is on the form, what color the button is, all that good stuff. All right, I like that. So if we view this page, that's how it's going to work. So now I can click the button to pop it up, or I can see what's going on down there. Let's go back and take a look at this, the settings in the back end here. All right, back inside our funnel. If I go to edit on this page one more time. Alrighty, so I can see I can even use their names if I'd like to. I'm not gonna skip that for now. On the form, let's be silly and let's remove the first name, but add in a phone number, because why not? And I like this drag and drop where you can actually change the order of how things are asked based on the order they're put in here. Let's save that. Customize, yep, that was all Elementor, but the reason why this is here is in case you're using a plugin like Thrive Architect that does not connect in nicely with WooFunnels, then you're able to customize the settings, the colors, all that good stuff on that page. And now, since I have the Pro version, I can come back here and enable an integration. You know what it is? WooFunnels and Autonomy obviously integrate perfectly, so you don't need to specify that you want to add them to Autonomy. I'm just coming from the perspective of you always have to specify where that list goes, but because this is working a bit more like an all-in-one, you don't need to do that anymore, which is nice. Let's take a look at our opt-in thank you page and see what the settings are for it as well. All right, so a very simple page. You can send them to a call to action that you would like, and not a whole lot of settings here, it looks like. Custom redirection. Okay, that's cool. If you want to send them to a specific place, you can. I like that option. All right, now let's also add in the ability to make a sale. So we'll come back to this funnel, and let's add a new step, and let's create a one-click or like a one-time offer. Let's do a sales page. And you can, I like that. You can clone it from a different page you've already built, which is a nice feature. Let's add this in. Let's go to edit this guy. And I can see here's the mentor. This is already designed out, so it should fit nicely. I'll import this one in. All right, so this sales page looks very good. It looks just like the previous design because it's in the same pack. So this is very helpful to save time. If you don't have that many specifics on how you want your stuff to look, you can bring in a really nicely designed template right there for you. And similar to Cartflows and other funnel builders, it'll give you a specific link to put into your sales page to make sure it goes to the next page in the funnel dynamically, so the drag and drop all works. Let's go and open this page up real fast. Let's make sure that's all set up for us automatically, and then we'll add in a checkout page and test this guy out. All right, so if I check out the button here, you can see it already has the link added in properly, which is great. So you can go through here and you've got all the design skills or capabilities of Elementor. You can, this product is for you if ... boom, 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 boom. Nicely designed. I am a big fan of what they've done here. They've taken some good care. Random 15-day refund period. Let's go ahead and update it. And let's exit to the dashboard. All right, and let's go back to our settings here. Alrighty, and then let's go ahead and finish this off by adding in a checkout page and a thank you page. So what we're going to do is add one more new step. Let's do a checkout page. Just call it checkout. I'll add this in, and we can drag this up. That's kind of nice. It's got the order bumps button right here. It's also got some error messages if there's something not right. So for example, there's no product included yet. So I'll go to edit here. And let's see if we find mentor as well. Oh, look at this. They've got 1-step, 2-step, or 3-step. These are all different order form methodologies of, you know, how much of the form do you want to show the person at one time. Let's do a 2-step. Let's see if we can find mentor. That's what we've been using. So this should fit in nicely. I can also preview it and see what this is going to look like. This definitely is bringing in the default colors of Elementor. That's interesting. Let's see what it looks like when I actually import it in. All right, oh, look at that, it looks better. I'll go to edit this here, and that'll pull up the design features. I'll probably need to do some back-end setup. Oh, this looks very nice. Join the tribe. Shipping methods, headlines, okay. Looks good. If I click on the checkout form itself, you can see I can adjust different portions of the settings here. Oh, cool. Do you want tabs or breadcrumbs? I think breadcrumbs tend to make more sense on the 3-step. Tabs make a bit more sense on the 2-step. And if I enable, look at that. You can actually disable the 2-step right here. No, this is actually just allowing you to see the different steps. That's interesting. So you can change things here from shipping to account setup maybe, and then complete purchase. And you can see how that adjusts the content right up here. Very easy to use, very nice. I'll go ahead and update this, and let's get out of this page. All right, so on the checkout page, I'm gonna need a product. Let me go ahead and make a simple WooCommerce product here, and we'll make this a $5 product. All right, so I've just made a very simple $5 product, has nothing really set up on it. But now inside of the checkout settings in WooFunnels, I should be able to come here. I see my design options. I can come to the products section here, and I can add in probably just my $5 product. Sorry, what did I call this thing? There we go, sample $5 product. I can just select that and add it in. And what's kind of cool about this is I should also be able to add multiple products and give them options to select, or choosing them, like forcing them to buy the entire bundle right off the bat. So you've got cool options there. You can actually put in maybe a 50% discount as part of this funnel, or even a fixed amount, so $5 off, or just a set amount there. Pretty cool. We'll save those changes. Let's take a look at how they handle fields, checkout fields, what is required. All right, cool. So you can add multiple steps. You can actually make it a 3-step right there. I've got my payment gateways on step 2, and by default, customer information is on step 1. So what you could do here, I can remove shipping method, or perhaps I could even, I wonder, can I drag this up here? No. Okay, I'm going to get rid of shipping method because we don't need shipping for this digital product. And let's get rid of shipping address. Get rid of some of the information you don't think you need. I don't want phone number. There you go. A couple changes there. And you could even add additional sections in and drag fields over. Maybe you want to include order notes over here. You can do that by adding a section and ask anything else. And we'll drag the order notes in. Oh, there you are. Order notes in right here. There it is. And we'll save those changes. Let's check out the optimizations tab. So a couple cool things you can do: auto apply coupons, Google address auto completion. This is a feature that is pretty stinking cool. We'll take a look at that. It would allow you, as you start to type in your address, if you're using addresses on your checkout form, it can auto-complete it and avoid errors and kind of make the process much, much easier. So some pretty cool options there. And then underneath settings, you can override the default analytics. So if you wanted to do more intense tracking, you can override global settings or even add in your own custom scripts along the way. All right, let's review what we have on our funnel here. We have an opt-in page, a sales page, a checkout page with one product, and a opt-in thank you page, which really should be a purchase thank you page now. So we'll come here, we'll say one-time offer, thank you. We'll add this in. Let's make this the next step there. And let's bring in one template here as well from hopefully the mentor. Look at that, they have the entire setup here. And this is already designed, so we're going to go ahead and just leave this the way that it is, which shows all the details of their product, as well as a call to action button where you could have them directly go into their course that they just purchased or whatever it is that you're selling. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's sample this funnel for the first time. We'll come back to the main funnel screen where you can see all the steps. And we'll even be able to start taking a look at the analytics of how many leads you're getting, how much revenue per visit, and step by step. This looks very similar to Clickfunnels, which is not necessarily a bad thing because people are used to that, and that's kind of how people expect funnels to look like these days. So it's kind of a good thing. We'll go here. Let's go ahead and set this up, and let's give it a try. So you can either sign up here or click on here. And you notice here that I've got the email and phone number fields on both sections there because that's how I set it up inside the back end. Makes it very easy to make it look right. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a kind of a fake email. And let's say get instant access. Oh, it knows it's not a real email. All right, let me put in another email here. Okay, now this is the sales page that comes after it. And I can scroll through, see the content. If I'm ready, I'll click on this button here, which should already be pre-populated to send me over to the checkout page. And here is the checkout page. So as I get here on the checkout form, I like the way that it's shown. It shows that I'm getting a 50% discount. It puts it in red text, so I really can't miss it there. It hides the coupon field, but it allows me to get to it if I need to. And if I have information that's not filled in, then it'll have that red bar around it showing that I have work still to do. Let me go ahead and fill in this information, and I'll go over to the next step. All right, now here on the next step, I added in that anything else note, so you can add in any information you want. And it shows right now, I did not add in Stripe or anything, but you'd be able to put in any payment process that you'd like. Let's go ahead and see if it'll let me buy it without putting anything in. And I need to include cash on delivery real fast. Let me do that. I know that you most likely have a payment processor set up. So let's come here to our WooCommerce settings. And just for the sake of this kind of walkthrough, let's go into our payments area and allow cash on delivery. That's okay. All right, so now I have pay with cash upon delivery. That's okay. We'll do some trust right here. And we'll say place order now. And it'll take me to my thank you page with my information as well as the call to action button that could take me to the members area to whatever it is that I just bought. All right, pretty cool. It's very easy to set up. It runs quickly, looks like Clickfunnels. And if I come over here to analytics, now I should be able to see that I've earned $2.50 of revenue from that transaction. I've got one total order, and it'll even show me which steps each order and which dollar came from. So if I wanted to have upsells and downsells, I would be able to see very easily which one is doing well. Now, what also should be able to happen now is inside of Autonomy, which is their CRM, I should be able to see that I have a new contact, and that was the email address I used to subscribe with. I should be able to see all my contacts here, right here, and I can even create analytics and automations on that. Now, I'll go ahead and do a follow-up video to show you how Autonomy works and what you can do with it, but it's pretty darn cool where I'll be able to create automations based on products purchased, on which funnels they opted in on, and other things like that. But let's just talk about WooFunnels in this video because it is a huge tool and it deserves its own love. So what do I love about WooFunnels so far? Well, I love the fact that it allows you to get started for free. I think that's a space that I want to see more of, that freemium model. I think that's just very kind and very supportive of everybody who's trying to get started and they don't want to go and be too far in the red when they're starting to build out their online business. I also like the templates that are included. You know, if we go back, we didn't really review the templates too deeply, but if I wanted to go and take a look and just make one more funnel to walk you through some of those options here, I can see all their sales pages. Like each one, I would say, is pretty carefully created. I mean, they look good. They look like they were honestly ripped off of a Clickfunnels template, which generally means these guys are looking at Clickfunnels and saying, hey, this is what these guys are doing. And by the way, they're making a ton of money over at Clickfunnels. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. Got to admit, pretty smart business practice if you ask me. So I like their templates. I think they're the most from a WordPress funnel builder. And the entire experience of building out, there's not a whole lot of question marks as I'm going through this. Everything's making sense as you're working through. The experiment section, let's check that out real fast. How it works, you can click here and kind of see a document, but it's pretty darn simple. I'm going to create an experiment. Now, what is an experiment? This is about conversion rate optimization, or CRO, and it's essentially the engineer's approach to marketing, where instead of having to throw spaghetti against the wall and see if it works, you're able to create this experiment and test out version A or version B of a page and measure the results. So let's test out that opt-in page. All right, so where we're at here is we're testing out the headline of our opt-in page, and I simply duplicated the original version here. All right, so I have a couple of versions here. Let me just delete this one here. So we have two versions of the same page. All right, I want to see which page is going to work better. So this is what the original page looks like. I can open this in a different tab. So maybe I want to change this headline around and see which one works better. It's very easy to do. We're going to come back to our experiment and let's edit this copy that we just made. And I'll come into the editor. All right, and then I can just make whatever changes I want to. Maybe I can change the image. I'll say, do you want to get higher conversions on your landing pages? I'll publish that change. Exit out to the dashboard. And then we'll simply be able to test very mathematically, no emotion involved, and keep the better one. So if here's my design, okay. Let's go back to my experiments. All right, so I've got my experiments, and now I can test out the traffic by saying, if I am confident that this is a worthwhile test, maybe I do 50-50. And I make this 50, and look at that, make equal weight. So if you're here, you can just make them equal weight and update it. And now what that means is that for every 100 visits that come through, every 100 new visitors, half of them should see this version, half of them should see the variant. And over time, let me hit start here. And now over time, people are going to see each one. And it'll start to measure the traffic, measure the conversions, measure the revenue, and let you see, hey, this one's working better. You should probably keep this one. And it'll be able to show you those analytics here over time, which is pretty sweet. So let's come back through and see if we get lucky and get the variation here. So here's my opt-in funnel. If I view this in an incognito window, okay, so I see version 1. Let me remove it. Let's try one more time. And we'll also try in Safari. There you go. So now on the second version, it's asking me the question. And if I happen to like that more, let's go ahead and put in an example here. All right, so I'm filling in this information and saying, give me my free guide. I'll submit that. So this is showing that version B, or that second option, should be converting higher than version A. So let's bounce back into our experiments, and let's see if it shows that it's doing that. I'm going to click over to the analytics. And here, boom, I can see, so version 1 was what I saw originally, and I did not opt in. But then version 2 I saw and I did opt in, and it's showing 100% conversion. So what you can do is you can watch this over time, see which one is doing better, and then declare a winner. And let's say I like version 2. How nice. You can even give it a little trophy. And what's cool about this is that even though I'm only testing the opt-in page, if that page actually creates more revenue, it might convert lower, but then potentially get you more money. What do you want? You probably want more money. And so you can declare that, and it shows everything is going nice and swimmingly. All right, so that's a pretty good walkthrough of WooFunnels. Again, the key points here, it lives inside your WordPress dashboard. Has the pros and cons. You have to kind of be careful what you're doing, keep your plugins up to date, and be comfortable with selling through WooCommerce to use this. So there's a bit more of a learning curve than something like a Clickfunnels. But what you get with that is you can get started for free and sell some items. Obviously, as we saw in the beginning of this video, there's a pretty strong limitations placed on the free version, but again, you can still get started. If you make a few sales, then you can justify spending $200 on upgrading to the pro version. It's going to be trickier than using something like a Thrivecart, so I'm really separating these into different categories, where this is going to be if you want to keep it all on your WordPress website, and grow that business on WordPress, then WooFunnels is pretty powerful. How does this stack up between Cartflows and WooFunnels? Well, I'm going to say that there are features I like more in Cartflows and features I like more in WooFunnels. As an example, I like the way that Cartflows does A/B testing better, because you can see it all on the same page. As you're looking through the flows, you can kind of just run an A/B test immediately. That's nice. But I like how WooFunnels does opt-in pages better. I like that they can have that click pop up. It doesn't force them to buy a product in WooCommerce. That's a really weird workflow that's in Cartflows. So, and pick and choose. I like the templates in WooFunnels more. I like having 200,000 active installations on Cartflows more as a user, and making sure that the team is there to support it. So it really is a 50-50. I think between the two of them, if you're looking for something to be a bit more like an all-in-one and less decisions for you to make, I think the fact that WooFunnels also now has autonomy puts that a little bit above. And Cartflows, I would say, if you already have a strong email marketing system in place and you don't want to change it over, I would probably stick with Cartflows plus whatever else you're using on that side. But again, they're very neck and neck here. I'll be really excited to see what changes over the next several months. One thing I also don't want to forget about here is WooFunnels. One thing it does do that I know Cartflows is working on is it also has really good rules engines. Well, WooFunnels does have a stronger rules engine right now, but I know that's going to be something that if you fast forward a few months, is probably going to be very similar between the two. So that is my first look review of WooFunnels. It's a solid platform. There's really nothing wrong with it. If you keep your website up to date, you keep WooCommerce happy along the way, this can be a really solid performer. Their templates are fantastic. Their overall build functionality, like as you're building it out, kind of makes sense as you're working through it. And I can see this growing and scaling with you so long as you keep your website happy along the way. What do you guys think? Is there any questions I should have asked in this WooFunnel review that I didn't ask? Let me know by leaving a comment down below, and I'll be sure to record a follow-up just for you. I'm John from Unbeatable Tech. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.